There you go.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 2 of our Growing Community podcast, where members of our growing community get together and share what we've been up to, what accomplishments we've had the week before, and also plan the future and what we're up to in causing this worldwide agricultural revolution. At least that's my game, and these are my cohorts. So, I am Maggie St. John, and I want everybody to introduce themselves again. I'm Maggie St. John. I own Green Goddess Sanctuary located in Oakview, Missouri. I am an urban farm. I have fruit trees and berry bushes and annual garden beds and chickens and ducks and goats and dogs and cats and roommates. And I'm trying to I'm an advocate and an ambassador and an activist for urban agriculture as the solution to the way we think of food. The way we think of acquiring food is the reason why we're destroying our planet. And urban agriculture is the solution to that. So that's me in a nutshell. Who else would like to introduce themselves? Mark, would you like to go next since we're on camera?
Absolutely. I am Mark Samborski, the one and only, the one that's excited about life, and my business, Antioch Urban Growers, and the community that I love are taking over the world one backyard at a time. We're doing so through soil and community, food, and participation in each other's journey called life. It's an exciting journey. We have an incredible array of people to walk with. And so we might as well just like, bam, take it over and do it strong and make it happen. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Kathy, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Okay, I'm Kathy Adams. I'm an herbalist, and we have an urban, like, I guess it's a suburban farm, Adams Osage Ridge Aronia Community Farm. And we grow all kinds of plants, herbs, fruits, berries, vegetables. You kind of name it. We've got it, even some like banana trees and, just all kinds of things. We love life, we love each other, we love exploring and networking, being a community, forming a community, learning how community works and how we can help each other grow. I'm a mother, grandmother, wife, and just lover of life. So that's my introduction.
Thank you, Kathy. Lizzie.
Hello, I am Lizzie Dennis. I am Kitchen Witch and owner of the Corner Grocery. We grow vegetables and do a lot of experimenting, starting mostly reviving the land and regenerating the soil at the moment. Gonna get animals eventually, and yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, and I also am a resident currently at Better Future Farms, where we have a suburban backyard farm, and are currently overhauling the front yard, taking away the grass and replacing it with natives and wildflowers. And yeah, that's it.
Yay,
Good
welcome,
job.
Lizzie. Matt?
It's me. My name is Mac, and I am possibility. I'm possibility of enrollment and engagement, and possibility of workability and coachability, and I'm all those possibilities and things through being a dirt farmer at Antioch Urban Growers, and as it were, as it is, a mentor to other members of the community.
Thank you, Matt. Lorenzo?
My name is Lorenzo. I'm CEO and owner of Takeover Productions, all media company. We also do music as well. We help artists in music. I'm a coach myself of artists. I'm coaching of all many artists, and I travel the world. I do photography. I do a lot of work on the aspect of all media, and I have a team as well as a media team. And I also, help my bro Mac. That's my boy. We at the farm, help growing. I know I'm hands-on with a lot of things. So that's my production. How you doing, y'all?
Yay, welcome Lorenzo. Carl?
Yeah, Karl with a K. A fairly new member of the community. But I kind of a little bit feel like an outcast because I just moved from Kansas City, the great urban environment, to Columbia, Missouri, here a couple of weeks ago. But I'm not leaving Kansas City and you guys behind it in any stretch of the imagination.
We miss you, Carl.
Excuse me?
We miss you.
I miss you too, guys. You especially, Mac. You were great. All you guys were great. Anyway, my background is professionally is architecture. I also have backgrounds in stained glass, crocheting, strong interest in renewing the environment, and I want to have my hands in the pot in any way I can, and mentoring, educating, being part of this community as it grows, and I'll be a part of it as much as I can, as long as I can, to contribute and give back as much as I can. So I think that's a good start for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you.
Uh,
Jess?
Hey, I'm Jess Fussell. I co-lead Oklahoma Wildcrafting. I teach edible plant and mushroom identification. I live in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm not currently on land, but I'm really into regenerative agriculture, permaculture, sustainable growing practices. I'm really excited to be part of this group now. I keep bees on a property in Belton, Missouri. I do natural beekeeping. And then my other interests are kind of slow fashion. So making your own textiles, making your own clothes, sustainability there, not wearing as much plastic. That's kind of my thing.
Thank you, Jess. Welcome. And the piece de la resistance, Cousin Paula. Would you like to come off mute and introduce yourself, my love? I'm going to send you a little prompt. All you have to do is click on it, okay? I'm going to send you another prompt. Hang on. You get it? If you, oh, who did we lose? We lost Kathy. Okay, Paula, on your device, in the lower left-hand corner, if you tap on your screen, if it's a phone or if it's a tablet, or if you move your mouse, in the lower left-hand corner of your screen is a mute or unmute button, and you gotta tap it to unmute. Okay, well, we'll keep working on that. Paula, keep working on that. And when you figure it out, just holler. Just holler, but the button is down in the lower left-hand corner of your screen to unmute. We'll figure that out. Okay.
Well, I'll introduce Paula real quickly.
Okay.
In case she doesn't get on. Paula is my cousin. She's the same age as me. We were raised in the same little baby container, whatever you call it, a playpen or whatever. she now owns, fast forward 60 years, and now she owns a farm up in Lawson, Missouri. And it's my desire to purchase half of her farm, which would be a 20-acre farm. And so she would be my neighbor and my, not just my cousin, but my neighbor and someone we cooperate with on this farm and grow more food and more animals and just create community in that area of Lawson, Missouri. I love her and I hope she figures out. She's never did a Zoom call or anything before, so she might be struggling with this.
And that's okay.
We love her. Yeah.
Being connected is a huge, huge step. We love you, Paula. We'll get there. All right, so let's start off now that introductions are complete with accomplishments and brags for the week. What's been going on the last week? Jump in, whoever.
I can go ahead since we got the screen. This last week, I've been doing yoga most every day, and I'm just incredibly more agile and more blood flow in my brain. And I'm really excited about plugging in all kinds of healthy practices to extend my vibrancy and my world conquest. I got to be strong to make that happen. And I'm real excited about a lot that I'm discovering around blood pressure and all the things that have to do with your heart. You know, I'm 61 and I want at least 25 more years of vibrant life. So I am
Amen.
doing the yoga thing, and I greatly encourage it for everybody. Also this week, I had plenty of opportunities to enter into young men's lives at the greenhouse. I've had some incredible conversations with Mac and with Dustin and with Dan and with Eric and with Michael. Michael and I are putting together possibly getting a truck. Me and him went truck shopping, and we think we found him a F-150 to buy. He's excited about moving forward and becoming more powerful in the world of food production and land care. And so we're having a lot of fun. And yeah, it's just incredible to get to combine forces with people, and the relationships that we're forming in many conversations are all bearing fruit. They're all putting together networks and movements and inertia and power and commitment. And so there's just a lot of exciting things taking place in my life and in this group's life through me, because I definitely want to share.
Yay, Mark. Thank you.
Mark, in that regard, I got another book for you. I'm looking for it right now.
Cool.
It's called something like the Wheels of Chakra, or the Chakra Wheels, by Andrea Grudith, something like that. I'll find it here before too long in my great, wonderful library here.
Cool.
But yeah, I'll pass it on to you as soon as I find it. Yeah, yoga's great. My mom did it for decades. She started it when I was in junior high, I think, and did it. Oh my God, she probably up until the day she died, and she died on her 90th birthday, back in 2018. And I mean, I never did get into it, but from her perspective, I think it added to her longevity immensely. So yeah, keep at it.
Cool.
Keep at it.
Thank you. Lizzie, would you like to share something, accomplishment or brag?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was gonna say I did process a few things this week that have been long needing to be processed. So I got some mint, like a big jar, big like half-gallon jar full of dried mint that I can turn into tinctures or extracts and all sorts of goodies. And then I made an oregano oil with some oregano stems, harvested some of those leaves too. So I have jars of the locally grown oregano from AUG. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I made some decaf coffee with chicory and dandelion roots. So I finally got those roasted and ground up and ready to brew for some decaf coffee if anybody so desires that.
Wow, I totally want some of that. Totally.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Mhm.
Yeah. I think Mac and Lorenzo do too.
Yeah. Right on.
What else, Get Lizzie?
Oh, that was it. That's my 3 big accomplishments this week. Oh, I guess I also accomplished in contracting COVID. I was positively identified in a test this week over the weekend. So doing a little bit of quarantining, sort of.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're okay?
Yeah, no, I feel fine. I was sick for like a day and then my fever broke and I felt fine ever since. It wasn't like a week after that I actually got the positive result, but I'm nothing. I can still taste and smell. Thank you, goddess. That's like the biggest thing that I was like terrified of losing and I didn't. So I think I'm good. Totally good. Very grateful.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not dying of COVID. Good job.
Yes.
All right. More accomplishments and brags.
Well, I'll pipe up. Kathy inspired me to do something this week from last week. She chimed in that she liked my hat that I came up with.
Mm-hmm.
So almost ready to come off the loom. There's another one for Kathy.
Yay. Wonderful.
It's backwards of the other one, but so it'll be reverse color wise, but it's same colors. And then this week I also did a cap for the gal that was my realtor in the colors of her realtor company, black, green, and white.
Huh.
So there's her cap finished.
Awesome.
And she's getting a scarf too, the same colors.
Nice.
How great is that?
So cool.
Good job.
Beautiful, Carl.
I'm hoping to meet up and do some more shopping with her this week. She was exposed last Wednesday to a family that had COVID. One of her clients, she was showing a house to, I guess, and so she quarantined for 5 days. And the weather's going to be nice here tomorrow, so I'm hoping we can get out and do some shopping tomorrow. And I just continue to unravel my new place. It's I had to ante up for a new hot water heater this past week, and that, like I said, it cost me a pretty penny, but that jumped right to the top of the list real quick. So that was kind of a important item, but it's one of those things that it was an investment for the long haul. And I wasn't thinking only for myself, I was thinking for the future. I replaced a tank that was dated 1994 with a new one. It was a 40-gallon tank, natural gas heated, with a new 50-gallon tank. And the guy we had to shoehorn it in there, and he had to redo some water piping, and he moved me up on his schedule Once he heard I'd been without a shower or hot water for 5 days, he moved me to the top of his list, which was really great. So, and it was another referral from my realtor, local guy here. So I think I got lucky and got a good deal on that, even though it cost me a pretty penny. But I was able to swing it and do it. So, yay, home ownership!
Yay, homeownership.
Once again, call it home ownership too. The saga continues.
Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
Mac, Lorenzo, Jess, accomplishments, brags.
I had a pretty quiet week, but I did make a linen blouse that I really like, that I'm happy with, that I'm gonna make a bunch more of. Because I kind of wanted, this is the year I want to make my own clothes. And then I finished another pair of socks that are really bright and warm and cozy for this cold weather. So that's pretty much all I did. And I'm starting another pair right in front of you.
Da, 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 da.
Good.
Well done. Thank you. What you got, guys?
Always doing something new, man. I got offered another new job, you know what I'm saying, today. And that's cool. And they trying to offer me 25 an hour. That's not bad. I'm trying to get my bro on, but you know, that's cool. And then just living life, you know, waking up every day just is always good. Breathing, shit. Got kids, taking care of my kids, all that. It's good. Living life.
Well done. Thank you, Lorenzo. Well done. Well done. Congratulations.
Plus you split some wood. Don't forget about the wood splitting and all
Oh,
the.
yeah. I split wood. You know, I'm not even a wood splitter, but I split some wood. It's fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that, I guess that's a double brag, because I was gonna say that, you know, he helped split some wood, Mark helped, Dan helped, Dustin got out there and helped, my kids rotated through this week, Kyle helped, you know, Mike helped, you know, the day that me, Mark, Mike, and Dustin were out there, we split, you know, I don't know, probably what, another half quart or so, got it stacked up. You know, so the wood processing is coming along pretty well. You know, that's all I got for the moment. Give me a minute. I'll probably think something else.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Got one more quick thing
I got
too.
things too. Uh-huh.
And that's just because it goes along with what we're going to be talking about tonight. I got the germination table up and running, so we can start seeds now in a heated condition. So that's it.
And I got all the seeds that were at the greenhouse organized, sorted and organized, and in plastic totes with labels on the outside that you can read. So we are in a great condition to start seeding a lot of trays. Especially, Mark's gonna have interns starting here at the greenhouse here next on the 18th.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have two, I think they're juniors in high school-ish, maybe seniors. Oh gosh, I just forgot their names.
Ian? No. Evan?
Aiden and Evan.
Aiden.
Aiden and Evan. Yeah. So they start next on the 18th, and that's going to be super exciting. But we need to get some seeds going now so they can have stuff to pot up here in a couple weeks. Start potting up here in a couple weeks. And I wanted to show y'all my creation over the last week or so has been.
Ooh,
Wow, that thing's gotten huge.
Yeah.
wow.
That's what she said.
So I started that with a crochet along with my mom. So we're both making the same pattern in our own different choices of yarn, and we'll see at the end it's not to see whose is better, but my intention is to start entering them into the state and county fairs. She enters a lot of her stuff into state and county fairs and wins like best in show, right? Like lots and lots and lots of ribbons. So I'm like, well, you know, she taught me how to crochet at the exact same time she was learning how to crochet herself. So I've got just as much experience as she does.
Wow.
So give mom maybe a little run for her money,
Yeah.
or maybe mom's gonna give me a run for my money. Probably, honestly, she's amazing. So, what else got accomplished this last week? Yeah. Was it this week that Mac, you came over and scooped out the goat pen? There's a brag. The goat pen got scooped out, and Melissa's got a nice new layer of goat shit hay all over what will be a garden next spring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that the chicken coop got a little bit of a lift there too.
Go shit, hey.
Thank you for getting this shit out of my animal yard.
Hey, that'll be a great prelude for some new recipes, Maggie.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now that I didn't do anything in it. That's the best hay I've been able to find so far, and I don't feed my animals anything but well, the chicken's getting on GMO, but the goat's getting on medicated regular goat feed. I don't have a non-GMO option for them, so it's pretty good stuff.
Best in town.
Best shit in town. What other accomplishments? I don't know. It's just been such a swirl. Coming up this next week, we're going to be building a Johnson Soup bioreactor in the greenhouse on Thursday, starting around
Which one?
11:30. Huh?
which greenhouse?
The upper greenhouse.
Okay.
So we're gonna-
Yeah. Told you I'd think another one, sorry.
Yeah.
If
Go
I
ahead.
may.
Yeah.
The water in the lower greenhouse actually got thawed enough. I was able to water today, so hopefully we
Yay!
can, we can save something and salvage something and then see where we need to replant.
How did my little cabbage and broccoli experiments do? Did they survive?
Partial.
Figured. Good. That's perfect. Okay. Thank you, Mac. I'm gonna rename Kathy just so we know. There, even though that doesn't distract.
Sorry, didn't mean the distraction, but thank you for allowing me the interruption.
Perfect.
Perfect. So yes, this Thursday, we're gonna be building a Johnson Soup bioreactor. Marty's gonna be coming by. And this is we're gonna be building it out of the frame of an IBC tote, the metal frame of an IBC tote. I'm not sure exactly where.
In the greenhouse.
Okay.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
What time did you say that was?
Starting around 11:30 on Thursday.
Okay, I'm currently using my phone for this Zoom call. Can you send that to me so that I can put it into my calendar?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Actually, that same day, we are gonna have a videographer coming and interviewing kind of Maggie and I for a biography for a team of people we're working with that have a building out at 3600 Troost. It's a 6,000 square foot floor plan, and it's 3 stories up and can go higher. So it's a huge building. They want to turn it into a agri-education facility with rooftop gardens and whatnot. And they've got a team of young people. It's all young people in their, I'd say, 30s. They're putting this together. They have a financer. Oh, and then they have some old people backing like me and another inner city advocate community leader named Gigi Owens. And it looks like they're going to come up with some millions of dollars and start this. I mean, and it's going to be young people sponsored, young people active. There's going to be a recording studio in it. Do you know a gentleman named Bam? He's an inner city musician named Bam.
Yep.
Okay, he's part of that group of young people, and he's promoting it. And then Maggie and I are doing he's doing like studios, this big building, they're gonna have studios in it, art centers, education centers, food centers, entertainment venue. So it's gonna be a really cool project. And Maggie and I are just along for the encouragement ride, you know, to empower these young people. But they're gaining steam and getting some real force behind them. And it looked like this thing out of 3,600 Truths could turn into a pretty major, I want to call it the celebration center. You know, celebrate the difference between, or celebrate the differences that can be mended in the Troost corridor between the east of Troost and the west of Troost type division, and do something around food and music and community that mends some strife in that area.
That's way cool.
It is. It is.
Couple of questionary thoughts. One, do you have an idea where you want that interview to take place and what you want that to look like? Because I'm assuming it's a video interview, correct?
It's a video interview. We're going to send them some stuff we have from spring so we can see the beauty of it. But we're also going to bring in the real life world that we're living in right now, and the world of homelessness, and the world of people working from different sides of the tracks, from different sides of the financial realm, you know, just from different perspectives. So this is going to be a real life type movement, and it includes our contribution as food providers and urban farming consultants. So we'll have a presence there. And mainly what we're going to be doing is empowering and promoting. But now it even seems like we may even do some financial investing, because we've already been working towards some financial investment opportunities, possibilities. And it looks like the need and the opportunity might arrive at the very same time as the financial capital to plug into the whole thing. So it's just a whole bunch of opportunities. Seems like there's opportunities everywhere. And that's kind of what I'm really trying to get to the top of the conversation, is how can we develop some of these opportunities to really bring back a benefit to all of our people? That's what I'm thinking.
Mark, it would be cool if the weather permits, if you could do that interview on the rooftop itself.
Oh, I hear you.
Kind of like I'm thinking the Beatles last concert on the rooftop, you know?
That's a really cool possibility. As far as the interview we're doing Thursday, it will be at the greenhouse. They're putting together a portfolio to the investment community of the I guess they're calling us, what do they call us?
What?
We're kind of like foundation. We're kind of like the foundation of this thing. We're really just here to encourage and promote and encourage and promote and say, you can do it. Yes, you can. And really, that's what we're there to do. But there might be even some financial opportunities for us, since we're already looking for investment, and really more to promote the ideology of urban farming and whatnot. So not so much to bring back a lump sum of money that we can go and land a beach somewhere, but more to continue the vision that we're already up to. Yes, sir, Matt.
So back to my original question, if I understand correctly, this is you're saying this is going to be a walking tour then, or
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, they have a videographer that's going to be following us around.
I don't know that it's going to be a tour at all, or just an interview.
Yeah, it's just an interview with one videographer and a single guy, young guy that's in the mix.
That's what I was wondering, if it was like a sit down kind of interview, and if so, do you have a place for that in mind?
I'll think about it, Mac. I'll let you know.
Yeah, cool.
Very cool. What else is coming up? So are we ready? I think we're ready to move on to coming up. Has everybody got accomplishments and brags? Kathy, did you get your accomplishments and brags in? Or were you dropped off?
I was dropped off. They totally took me off, and I just got back on a few minutes ago. So I missed everybody's. I would love a review. We have another person living with us now. His name is Curtis. Young man, worked at a gym, and helping with the farm. So he has joined our community and he is at work tonight. So lots of stuff around that this week. Been working with people that have had COVID and helping them with their recovery. Working with several clients. Not much done in the greenhouse or high tunnels, but a lot of tending just to care of what we've got going on already. And as far as not additional, just care of what we've got going on. So that's about, made lots of yogurt this week out of the goat milk. And flavored it in all kinds of different ways, enjoying it thoroughly and keeping it going, and lots of kefir this week. So just enjoying and doing some deep, how do I say that? Creating some spaces and getting rid of stuff. Doing just a little bit of that this week.
Energetically or
Would you
in
call that
your physical
purging?
environment? Or both?
In my physical environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So, because it really needs to be done.
That is the task of life.
So that's part of my accomplishments and brags.
That's incredible. Well done, Kathy.
Hey,
Okay.
Mark, real quick, before we get jumped into other stuff. Guess what popped off the floor at me here just a few minutes ago.
The
It's called The
book.
Wheels of Life by Chakras, The Wheels of Life by Anodia Judith. And I'll send you all the information on it, okay?
Thank you, sir.
But it's a great book, great book.
Cool.
Fantastic. Thank you, Karl.
I would love to
You're
borrow
welcome.
that too. That looks awesome.
Karl, the lending library.
Yes, yes, gotcha, yeah.
We have several Karl books that we need to get back to Karl.
Don't worry about it. I know where they're at.
They're safe. Unless we burn down the house and they're gone. Sorry.
I need to step to the restroom. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, good. What else? Okay, are we ready to move on to planning the future? So every year for AUG, it's we kind of, Mark and I around this time set some goals for what we want to have what we want to see have come to fruition in the year. What are our goals for the year? And so we kind of had that conversation this morning. I'm just going to share with you our goals for the business Antioch Urban Growers this year. And this isn't a complete list at all. This is just from this morning's conversation of like what we, because obviously there's the whole conversation that's happening with Randy and Mr. White and developing us into an agro educational facility. That's kind of in these goals, but not necessarily in these goals. These are still based off of what we knew to do. Okay, so For the CSA, I have a goal to double the membership at each farm. So whatever it was, I want, you know, each farm to have its own membership, and whatever it is, I want to double it from last year at least, right? And I want to have there be at least 4 educational or workshop events this year for the CSA. For the spring plant sale, I'm creating it being easy and profitable. I want to have pre-sales available via our online store of like all of our annual vegetable plants for sure, including starting pre-sales here pretty quick for cold crops. So getting cabbages and kales and broccolis and cauliflowers starts going, and start getting those pre-sold for pickup, you know, beginning in March, what, 15th-ish probably. I'm not exactly sure. We need to do some planning and set some dates there. I also have a goal for the spring plant sale that there be retail help this year and it not be all Mark all the time. So that's another goal. Also, tech goals. I want to get the website updated and the podcast created. And what else? And I think there's an opportunity for us to actually have an audio podcast as well, not just one we post on YouTube. I'm being, remember that podcast I was on a couple of weeks ago, the Doomer Optimist podcast? So I'm now part of the team that is producing that podcast, and I'm learning how to do the audio editing from basically Zoom calls just like this, and posting it on all these different podcast platforms. So I'll be learning how to do that, which will help us do this. Plus, it's a really cool network of people who are up to kind of a lot of the same stuff we're up to. And like we see what's the reality that we see coming towards us, the future we see coming towards us is one of like, we got to do something about this, right? If we don't, we're not going to survive. The planet's going to be destroyed, or we're going to all be living on plastic food and we're going to be destroyed as a species, right? That's my version of what's coming. And and it's all about, what are you doing in the face of that? So that's what that podcast is all about, is people who are in the face of that, you know, reality. What are we doing now to prevent or alter or make a difference with that future? So we'll see where that goes, but that's part of my tech goals is podcasts. And also for Green Goddess Sanctuary, my goal is to have beautiful and lush gardens as it is every year, but also I want Mark's Heart Health Garden established. So we're gonna get, you know, on some slice of the what used to be a lawn turned into Mark's Heart Health Garden here at the house, and he's gonna have his own garden this year. Oh my goodness. Oh, and also I want to, the vibe I'm going, you know how when you walk into a space and you kind of have there's a vibe, right? There's an emotion, or there's a mood, or there's a whatever. I really want the vibe of what we're creating at AUG to be like a hippie enclave where people are hanging out, having mind expanding conversations, and we are it's beautiful. There is music, there is art, and the mood is one of happiness and freedom and love and nurturing of each other and our space. So we are wanting to bring in busloads and busloads of kids, and I want that to be the space we're bringing folks into. I don't want to pretend that we're anything other than we are, which is a bunch of hippies, mostly. And we're going to do hippie shit like smoke weed, and that's fine, because guess what? We're all legal marijuana smokers in the state of Missouri. So there you go. So that's some of what I wanted to share about what we were creating at AEG. And we had a conversation today. I'm trying to find the plan I used last year to plan the spring plant sale, and I can't find it. The only one I'm finding is one from like 2019 or 2020. So we're gonna have to create it, not really necessarily from scratch, but starting the appropriate amount of plants at the right time so we can have the appropriate amount of plants available for sale so we can make the amount of money we want to make, all that kind of stuff. So there's conversations to be had there. And that's just a future thing. I apologize. I kind of took over the conversation, but I really wanted to share that. And that doesn't fall under any of the committee updates at all. So does anybody have anything they want to say about any of that, or can you chime in or whatever? What are you doing, Kat?
I had flashbacks of the I guess you call them the hippie communes from the 70s, and scenes out of Billy Jack flashed through my head, because that was all part of that culture, you know, with the school they had in the desert. And yeah, I get it. And if I can be part of helping to create that, let it be so, please. You know, I love it.
Thank you, Karl. Anyone else? Before we move
terms
into
of-
committee stuff?
In terms of
Yep.
getting,
Yep.
Hang on, Kathy. Jess is saying something real quick. Jess, go
Um,
ahead.
you said Mark needs help with the retail stuff. What does that mean in terms of like concrete times and schedules? Do you know? yet?
Well, that's one of the things we need to work out, is what we want our actual open hours for the season to be. And that is totally going to be dependent upon the agreements made by the people who are wanting to be contributing and also supported by what we're creating. Right? So we need to set hours. Going to have at least 1 or 2 days closed a week where we're just completely closed, not open for customer traffic at all. There will come a time at, like, middle of the summer where the hours will be drastically reduced just because it gets too hot to be safe inside of a greenhouse, especially for selling plants. But what that looks like is usually just
Job.
what?
It's kind of a job.
It's kind of a job. It looks like getting there in the morning. There's certain things that need to be done in the morning to get ready for business to be open, like plants need to be watered and bathrooms need to be cleaned, and
Sure.
sidewalks need to
Your
be
bathroom
swept,
plan.
and the cash register needs to be set up and that kind of stuff. And then there's actual the doing of the interacting with customers, making the sales, providing answering the questions, all that.
So this
and
is not
also-
one event. This is an ongoing weekly kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it would be something, what I'm really wanting to create is, like, as a community-based business, right? We're not into the whole corporate model of I show up and you pay me and tell me what to do. I'm not looking to generate something like that. What I'm looking to generate is, if people want to be contributing to what we're doing at the greenhouse and want to be supported monetarily by what we're doing at the greenhouse, we need to create that plan and agreement. I want those people to be involved in the creation of the plan and say, right then, what are you willing to do to see to the creation of the revenue that you're seeking to get out of the contribution you're making? And that looks like either we have enough money in the budget that we create to hire somebody who that's all they do is retail help. But I really want somebody who's a community member to be retail help, because there's a lot, we want that relationship, right? So in the past, it's been pretty much Mark. Mark was the retail sales every day for years.
I tore it up too.
And last
Top
year,
seller
I'm not
every
saying there
time.
hasn't ever been any help. I'm saying that it's pretty much Mark's had to be there every day. So in addition to, we had Lizzie and Brianna and Michael and like Mac and like all sorts of people were helping with the retail this last year. And it was great. It was wonderful. And I'd like to see us build on what we discovered last year worked and didn't work, and move into the next season of
Okay.
learning lessons.
Because that's something I can do on weekends.
You can.
The weekends?
So I have every other Saturday off. So Saturdays are every other Saturday is good for me. I don't work on Sundays ever. The rest of the week is day job stuff. But if that's something where like every other Saturday you want somebody to be present and take money and smile and be helpful, that's definitely something I would be interested in participating in.
Fantastic. Good. Thank you.
And as a community member, knowing your gifts and your talents and the skills that you've developed by living your life in the Appalachian Mountains and whatnot, I think there's the possibility of having classes that are scheduled as well. So not only are you contributing to the income, but you're also being made famous, if you will, acknowledged for your content, your intellectual property. And there's possibilities of doing consulting and everything in the realm of what Antioch Urban Growers is up to.
I'd love to do some teaching workshops.
Yeah.
If you guys get to that point, like plant walks, mushroom walks, that kind of thing. If you want to do home butchering workshops, I love teaching that. I think empowering people to harvest their own meat. That's one of the scariest things, I think, for urban farmers is, I hatched all these baby chicks. Now I have 6 roosters and the neighbors hate me. What do I do? And teaching them how to convert that into ethical food is, I think, one of the most amazing things. And I love doing that. So
it's necessary. It's vital. Thank you. Good. Kathy, you had something you wanted to say there about the goals.
Yes, I did. I think we're way too short on our goals for the CSA. I think it needs to be more than doubled. I don't know what that number looks like, but I think that we shoot high. We shoot for, as we put our advertisements together and stuff, we look for who's there to come in. I don't think we look at cutting it off. I think we look at, or just doubling it. I think we look at, okay, yes, what's viable, that's for sure. But we look at, okay, how many people want to be in? So I thought that was way too low.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else?
Everything else sounded great.
Very good.
And I love the
Right.
Mark's Heart Garden.
Yeah.
Mark's Healthy Heart Garden. That sounds wonderful.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, I really, encourage everyone to come up with their own goals for their spots and share them with the group, so we can just, it's part of the network of conversations. It's part of what we talk about. It keeps it alive. So, yeah. Maybe I should refine that goal of CSA membership to retain at least half of the members or something for the year. I definitely want to see.
Now that I like.
I want to see there to be improvement and all that. And I just, I also want to be like, we have, according to the, there's a level of organization that's necessary to pull off a CSA of scale. Like,
Yes.
and it's going to take, it's a learning curve. There's just going to be a learning curve. And I didn't want to, learning my lesson from last year, I didn't want to be like, we're going to have 50 members in the CSA. It's like, no, I'd be happy with like, I don't know, 10, 20. Because that would be, that's realistically manageable as how last year went, as we were working out all these kinks. What were you saying, Carl?
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's got to be manageable, and you got to keep it within balance too. Because otherwise it's just going to get real quick if you get too many people involved. Because so it'll be a growing process, and it'll get there.
Agreed. All right, good. I wonder if Mac and Lorenzo are coming back.
Joel. Okay. Joel and I have also been working on the compost, getting a list of retailers to go to get it in their stores, things like that. I still want to tweak it a little bit more. But it's coming along, and that's Joel's working diligently on that.
Cool.
And we're also headed for a Native American event this weekend. So we will not be around this weekend.
Speaking of, did you get a hold of Jelly?
No, I did not. But I think Joel did.
Well, I for
I will
sure.
check with him when he gets in.
Mhm. Yeah, I for sure like the story of how the prophecy came about and how the book was found and interpreted. I really want that story to be like it's like recorded somehow, shared with the larger community. Those, well, I can't remember the name of the tribe, and it's like the 7 or something steps to heal the planet, essentially. Right?
The Mentinal record. Yes.
Mentinal.
And I can post that on our archives. Mentinal archives is what it's called.
Okay. So I want to set aside a time to have, you and Joel on a Zoom call where that story is told and recorded. For for whatever means, not necessarily for like, Antioch. I don't want it to be for like Antioch Urban Growers Meet, but I think it's really important that we get that story told and recorded so it can be used however.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. There, Mac and Lorenzo are back. They're coming back. Okay, event planning committee updates and marketing or technology. I don't think I worked any more on the presentation, and I have given a lot of thought to the letter that I want to write to James and Jaylene and Fruitful Hills, and I haven't seen any communication from them yet about when they're going to be starting their early bird signups for their summer CSA, and I'd like to maybe time that event that we're talking about creating, time that event more towards the early bird sign up date than for all, and that can be early bird sign up for all of our CSAs. So it would give us a little more time to get more of the book read and more of the structure in place for the CSA being a success or being able to grow, literally like expand its membership this year. So I just think that January 17th, which would have been next week, I think that there's just not there. No, we need to put some more work and effort into what it is we're creating before I'm ready to have a public conversation or a conversation I invite the public to and invite them to come into membership of. So that's what I have to say about events, marketing, and podcasts and YouTube and recording videos has been the extent of marketing this week. And technology is pretty much the same. Again, just podcasts and YouTubes. I haven't gotten any work done on the website as far as I know. I still want to get James invited to this meeting. Jess, have you invited James to this meeting?
No, is that okay?
Yes, absolutely. Please do. Would you?
I forwarded him one of your emails, so hopefully he said he emailed you back a couple days ago.
Oh, well, I haven't seen that.
Okay. There's some terrible disconnect of technology happening here because we're trying to get you guys in communication. But yes, I will invite him to future ones.
Thank you.
I know tonight he's dealing with a sick kid, so
Good.
probably not available, but
Thank you. That's all I have for events and marketing and technology updates, committee updates, infrastructure and maintenance committee updates. Anything?
Just that we got the, I don't know if you heard this, Kathy, but I got the germination table up and the plastic all around it, and it's ready to start. I've got plenty of soil made. We're ready to start seeds, both inside, and I want to do some outside seeds, like some poppies and whatnot, as well, and already in containers, you know, that we don't have to dig them up, but just transplant them into something else.
Great.
Good. Any other infrastructure and maintenance?
We got plenty of wood, got plenty of hands on deck.
Hey,
How
Mark,
about the elderberries? Did they get planted?
Well, that's not infrastructure and maintenance. That's garden planning. Stay on topic, Kathy.
We're almost there, and
Well,
yeah.
you know, he talked to me about the table.
So yeah, I don't know of any other infrastructure. I did notice that we have a broken water pipe on the upper greenhouse on the far south, no, the far northwest corner. So I'm gonna have to do some maintenance repair on that water catchment system. We have a broken PVC, but that's not too difficult where it's at to fix. Yes, sir.
along those same lines, we still have not dealt with the 30-foot hole in the lower greenhouse roof on the northwest side.
When all the snow came through?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I mean, we lost a lot of water because of that. I mean, our whole upper tank, I mean, we lost a lot of water, period, because a lot of it froze. But, you know, the whole top row, we barely caught any to nil of that snow and water. So we're going to take a hard hit on that. We got to figure out why. You know, and I'm sure that was a large contributing factor.
There wasn't as much moisture as you thought. We're still in a drought. It was fluffy and snowy, but it wasn't much accumulation at all. So we do need to fix that for sure, but we're in a major drought right now. So we're living in climate change right now. And, you know, so yes, we need to fix the infrastructure, but we also need to recognize that there's things happening around us that we need to be vocalizing as farmers, especially, you know, people get your shit together because we're living through all kinds of climate change. That's obvious.
Yeah. Nevertheless, like I said, we didn't catch as much in the bottom as we did at the top, and we're going to take a hit for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mac, for keeping me on track. I love you, man. You're right there. You're solid, dude. Appreciate it so much.
But yeah, so we need to address that and figure out if it's something that is beyond our control or if it's something that's in our control. We need to investigate it. It's all I'm saying.
Cool beans. We'll talk about it next time we get down there. How about it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good. Anything else infrastructure and maintenance-y?
I'm complete.
I'm complete.
The toilet that
What
was full of
about
ice
the,
shit did not actually freeze and bust. Yay, that's an infrastructure and maintenance item. Okay, sorry, Kathy, continue.
The PVC pipe did we ever get any of that up for the low tunnels?
No,
Oh, we got
in the
the,
upper greenhouse, yes, but not in the bottom greenhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we count for sure how many were needed in the bottom? Because I
Yeah.
had a total of 6 down, and then and then I thought I heard some going up on that. So I
Well,
want to know a for sure number there.
Well, we found and were donated from Eric a bunch of old used tent poles, and that's exactly what they're meant
Okay.
to do. So we can substitute a lot of those PVCs for those, you know, the old snap together tent poles that folded up with the big string, you know, bungee string in between. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we found quite a few of those, and they extend out to 6 and 8 feet, which should be large enough to do just
Okay.
about everything we need to do.
Okay, this week, can we see if they'll work? I do have a pipe bender. If that needs to be brought up there for a little bit. But let's just see if those posts will work. Let's use with what we have first. But
Right.
let's make sure they do. And make sure that we can put plastic over them so that, and they won't break up the plastic. They won't punch holes in the plastic. Because when you put those things apart, that rough edge of the metal, if I'm understanding what you have, the rough edge of the metal could still poke holes there.
I'm tracking with
Is that right or wrong?
you. There's a possibility. So with that being said, I'll make sure to pay close enough attention to, if I have to modify to negate that factor, I will. Thanks for, you know, that's something I probably would have missed.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Mark,
Yes, sir.
question for AUG. And I'm sure I'm not going to assume you've already done this, but I'll bring it up. Have you ever investigated where the water table is so you can make use of the groundwater as an alternative water source on your property?
Well, we have had water. There's water tests that have been done in the area, and the groundwater itself is very high in sodium and sulfur. So the immediate groundwater is not usable, but there is
Okay.
another groundwater table below some rock at about 60 feet that can be tapped into good water. So we've actually looked at the possibility of doing it in the past. It's about $3,500 to drill a well.
Yeah,
And you have to hit water, or it's $3,500 to drill another place. So it's not cheap. You
Yeah.
gotta know where you're
yeah,
doing and what you're doing.
right.
That possibility does exist in the future. Right now, we seem to be doing fine on water catchment. It's just, we can always maximize that. We've got quite a bit of room to do that.
Okay, all right. Just curious.
Thank you, sir. Good question.
Mark, how are we doing on water filtering?
Well, that's
Are we putting, is there any type of charcoal or biochar or rocks that we're putting the water through to filter it and clean it up? Any?
No, not at this time. We're using it directly from catchment into animals and plants, and possible other uses like a rinse or a first dip for dishes. I think the guys use it sometimes as a first dip for dishes. I'm not sure, but I think that I've seen that happen. So the water filtering thing, there's a grant right now that I'm pretty sure we can get, and it is specifically for that through the KC Grow grant. It's for water. They've already did a water test on us through Cultivate KC. And the lady who does the grant judging has been to Antioch, and she's thought that my idea of getting water catchment systems to make potable water and even purified water would be a great grant project. It's due January 28th, this January 28th, the proposal for that grant, and there is no cap on it. It's just grants over 1,000 and under 1,000. It doesn't say on a total amount, but we could put together a proposal for a system that purifies and makes water through biochar, whatever we design, and probably get it paid for as well.
Does someone have time to work on that? Because that's pretty quick.
Well, Mac's
Yes.
got something to say about it.
No, she asked, took the words right out of my mouth, is that's a real quick time limit. Do we got somebody that either is real good at it and can do it quickly, or can devote the time to do that?
Well, I did already most of the prep work, because believe it or not, the lady that another grant person sent us the wrong application. And so I already filled out all this application for this particular grant, thinking it was for another grant. We sent it to the people and they said, you sent us the wrong paperwork. And I said, that's the paperwork you sent me. And they go, whoops, that was for the other grant that hadn't even come out yet, or was already done for last year. So really, I've got it all pretty much filled out. The only thing we need to do is put together an itemized list of what we need and some sort of, what do you call it? Some sort of description of the services that we're going to be using to build it. Because we can put on the grant fees for construction, fees for getting water test in the initial stages, so we know what we're doing. There's all kinds of itemized things you put in the grant proposal, and as long as they're legit, and I'd like to keep it under $5,000 or something, because I think that's what the grant was topped out at last year, but this year they do not have a top. But if we stick around 5,000, chances are they're already used to giving that kind of money away.
Is that something we need to make a priority this week? Because that sounds like a couple of days job to create the BOM, building a materials list, and then writing it up into a correctly verbiage proposal. That'll take at least a day. So is this something that maybe we should move to the top of our priority list?
I think it's definitely something that would benefit us if we did.
Okay.
So, man, my schedule is getting really packed with things that are mainly conversations, but there are conversations with people who do these kind of grant things and stuff. So they're turning us on to an idea. So if you want to get together and put together, I think probably if you did some YouTube research, or all of us could put together a proposal and then just take whatever, make one out of it, just come up with ideas. But I guess it wouldn't hurt to make a specific request that anybody who comes up with this more than likely can plug into what I've already put together, because I measured all the tops of the greenhouses, calculated how many gallons of water it would be and all that stuff. And it's just,
Really?
It was not even for that other grant. So most of the grant's already done. It's just the specifics on the water catchment or the water purification side of it.
January 28th is in 2.5+ weeks. That's 3 Fridays from now. Okay. So if we were wanting to schedule some sort of time to, go, like, I don't know anything about this. I'm not saying that I'm going to do this. actually. I just want to say that we have some time, so if we can get something scheduled, a structure for fulfillment of this, to create the opportunity to have conversations and people to have action items to go research and then come to the meeting with, so that the meetings are productive. So I don't know the first thing about putting together a water filtration system at all. I don't even know where to begin. What you
Yeah.
got, Mac?
So with that being said, I would like to propose to the community that we apply for the grant for a purifying water tower. And I will have, at whatever date we set within these, between now and the 28th, to vote on that and present our cases. I'll have the information on it then.
Fantastic.
How about we have something to present the whole team by next Monday's call? That work?
Okay,
It doesn't have to be complete, but a movement, like a mile marker. I have all the stuff that I've already put together so that you can see it. And then that will actually help you as well. And then basically it's just researching on what we can do. There's probably a ton of them on YouTube, but we put together the one we want, one that works for us, and just probably duplicate whatever they used. Or, we don't really want to tweak things too much. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, but get something that's legitimate and we can put it together. And let's have a report on it by next Monday night. And by the next Monday after that, let's have it ready to rock and roll. How about something like that?
yeah.
I firmly agree with that, because let's look at other YouTubes too. So we can get some of the best filtration system we can come up with, because the plants could use that too. I mean, everything that we do could use a great filtration system on what we're catching. I also think in writing grants in the past, those details of how much it costs, the spreadsheet, that's going to take some time to get all those details in. And so I think that that's really, really important to get those details, get them on a spreadsheet. That's where I've had some issues before, because I didn't have enough details. They love details. Grant writers, grant reviewers love the details. And if you don't have enough, they don't think that you studied it out enough. So that's a big thing. And Mark, if we've got a person that can review our grant before we submit it, that's done a lot of reviewing or done a lot of grant stuff, and then they could give us pointers, that would be great. Those are two things that I really see are really important. And 3 weeks is really stretching it. I mean, that's a close time. So it does have to be on the priority list.
We could talk to Vera, actually. Vera knows our whole water situation really well. And she's been.
That would be a great one.
I'm sorry?
Vera would be a great one.
Yeah. I'll shoot her a message tonight before I go to sleep, if she knows of a water system, because she knows water and she knows all that stuff. If she knows a water system that we should check out and pursue or whatever, to help us out. And I bet she would be able to at least give her, they want a name to attach to the grant proposal a lot of times, of somebody who knows what they're talking about. And all these people will know Vera as well, that are going to be making the judgment on this.
That's a great idea. I loved working with her on that.
Okay, I'll have that done.
Things that we've worked in the past.
Perfect.
But we can't slide. If we're going after it, we can't let it slide.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. Thank you so much. I'm on it.
Okay.
All right. Any other infrastructure and maintenance items?
That fall under grant writing committee as well.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Garden planning committee or garden committee, and we'll get to the planning here in a little bit. The garden committee, well,
The
like I said
garden committee
earlier-
needs,
Go ahead,
the
Kathy.
garden committee. It's not just Kathy, the garden committee needs to meet. I can tell you my ideas and they're great, but I want input from everybody. So I'm putting that out there. We need to meet. I have not heard from Nick. I tried texting him about picking up seeds so we could get those started. So now I'll ask my question from earlier. Did the elderberries get put into, are you still there? I've lost you again.
We hear you. We hear you, Kathy.
Okay. Did the elderberries still get in to their pots?
Some of them did. Maggie put probably 20 or so into, they're more community pots than individual pots, but they all have room to root.
That's fine.
Um,
That's
and then
great.
another bunch is still sitting in a bucket of water.
Those need to get out of the bucket of water. Water needs to be changed every day on anything we send over there. And I'm terrible about that myself when I got it here, of
Right.
changing my water, but that really makes a big difference in whether we end up with viable cuttings or not.
Then you
So
better not send them.
any cutting, water gets changed.
Yeah, then you better not send them. Cause with the rate in which we are not getting water at the moment, that would be a hard commitment to give.
Well, I think we're only talking 1 or 2 buckets. We're not talking a big bunch of buckets right now. And if you get them in the dirt and water them, that's could be significant. Sufficient, I mean.
it
I
just
don't want
takes
to
a
put
couple
too
inches.
much on you this week because I don't want to put too much on because this is still our kind of, we're getting a little bit more warmth this week. But once February hits, that's when we're really going to have to ramp everything up. Right now, the cold crops, if we've got enough cold crops to sell, that's important. Because those can go in the spring sale, those can go in anybody's greenhouse by the 7th.
What had happened
March
was,
17th is our date to really start pushing plants. So we've got a couple of weeks for the seeding yet. How is the production, Mac, in the greenhouses right now?
well, you see what had happened was, we got a nasty bunch of cold and again, we had a breach in the roof on the south greenhouse, and so everything froze, and so water was not available, and it does not look good at the moment. I was able to water today to get something in there, and we'll see what they look like tomorrow morning.
A lot of times those plants will freeze and they'll be fine. So not if they don't have some kind of protection, but under my low tunnels, they always survive. So yeah, check tomorrow, check later in the day, see if they've unfroze, because it's not supposed to freeze. So you'll know more by tomorrow afternoon. And if they've frozen, that means we do need to restart. We need to replant. But we got to get the low tunnels up there so we can, so they'll survive. Okay. That sounds like an awful lot of work. Is everybody capable of doing all of that? Because I don't see Dustin or Dan here tonight.
No,
Are they? They're still with us though, right?
yes. I just, small space to try to get everybody in, and I was not able to facilitate them being here tonight. And I don't have Dustin's number to send him that, and it didn't cross my mind to ask Mark or Maggie to send it. So that is my,
Well,
Learning curve.
that's what we'll call it.
Yeah, we'll call it a learning curve.
Humans doing human things.
That's right. Yeah, the grant I feel like is a priority. I know we need to get the plants planted. I was hoping everything had come through. So give me a report. Mac, even just call me tomorrow and let me know how things are. Or text me, you know, whatever is convenient, okay?
Yes, ma'am, will do.
Okay, sounds great. And then also I need the PVC count for sure. To know whether your stakes work or whether we have to get PVC.
I'll have you a full update and count by COB tomorrow.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Thank you, Mac.
And I need a,
No worries.
yeah, very much. And I still haven't gotten a list from people as to what they want to grow this next year. So I really need that. Foods that are preferential, foods that you really want to make sure get in. Please put a list in the, I don't know about the chat, but in the Signal group. So we make sure that we've got everything growing that people want to grow. And I haven't gotten a grocery list of what each of you are eating per week so that we can make sure that we're growing enough for everybody. So those are a couple more things that people could work on. We don't have to have it right now, but we do. I would like to have it by the end of January, 1st of February. 1st of February is getting a little late, but give her a shot. And I think that's all for mine right now, Maggie.
Thank you, Kathy. You're very thorough. I
Does
appreciate it.
anybody have? Does anybody have anything to add?
No, I'm complete.
All right. The only other garden update I had was just that I got all the seeds at the greenhouse. Lizzie, your seeds, and whoever, I don't know whose all these seeds were, but I just organized all the seeds and they are now in clear shoebox sized totes with index cards in them that can be read from the outside of the tote. It says what kind of seeds are in them. So it's kind of not, it's not the best, but at least it's a start of all the beans are in the same tote. All the corn is in the same tote. Some things are, there's two things in the same tote, but I try to do like root veggies separate from other things. Kathy, I gotta tell you, I got no clue what my grocery list for a week is. I got no clue how much I'm eating or how much I need to grow. I just got no clue. I don't just know. So you're not gonna get that from us. Just FYI. From Mark and
Me
I.
neither.
Yeah. As far as what do we want to grow, we're doing Mark's Heart Health Gardens. So we've got a list of things that are good for heart health, which is surprisingly all the shit we already grow, cabbages and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and, basically quit eating sugary processed foods. Improve your heart health.
That's right.
Amen.
Now,
So-
hawthornberry trees are another good one. You eat the leaves and the flowers for heart. But that is a tree that does have stickers on it. And I don't mean smiley face stickers. I mean the ones with points like roses.
You can't grow those, Kathy? Come
Those are
on.
thorns, not stickers.
Kathy, do you have any hawthorn?
Yes, they are technically thorns.
Do you have any hawthorn trees
I
at
don't
your
know whether
property?
you want that. I have to go look because they put a bunch of brush over where they were planted. So I don't know if they've survived.
Mm.
And that'll be a spring look. It's not a look right now.
Because hawthorn was something that was suggested by a couple of doctors that I've heard. That was one of the main things is hawthorn.
Well, that's why I was suggesting,
Right.
or not suggesting, I was checking with Maggie, do you want a thorn tree in your backyard?
I wouldn't mind a thorn tree. I've got goats. They'll
That's
love it.
that.
Yeah. It's probably a hardwood then as well, so they can burn, you always burn them. They shouldn't grow too fast.
They are a state tree, and yeah, they do grow fairly fast.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Not as fast as we all like them to grow, though. Okay, so you need to look for a hawthorn tree to buy and
Hawthorn
decide
tree.
where you want it. So
Need to add
observe after you look for the hawthorn tree where the best place is. Where it won't bring too much shade to an area.
Got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.